So Paul, this here is a image of the Grand Chief. So he's my great cousin, and my grandfather was born in 1898, and the Grand Chief here, he was born in 1919, and I'm his direct successor to Grand Chief of the First Peoples Sovereign Nations. Let's get Ryan's presentation done, so I get all the presentations done for his school. Xavier, can you call your father, please? Jakira Tani told us who are looking at this video. I'm Eric Lewis, Grand Chief of the First People, His Royal Majesty. My last request from the chief was, he asked, are you giving your left hand or your right hand? And I was like, what do you mean my left hand or my right hand? And he said, are you giving your left hand or your right hand? And I said, my right hand, of course. He said, well, good. Take up your responsibilities. Take them up well. Don't give up. Don't stop. And he said, do not care of whatever people say about you. He said, I don't want to ever hear that you are giving up, whether I'm alive or whether I'm dead. Live. Fulfill what you are placed here on this earth to do. And then you will die in peace. And when he said that, then I will die in peace, I say, in my head, I'm like, die in peace? I'm not even thinking about dying right now, but you're telling me about dying in peace. And I'm saying to him, Chief, I can abdicate at a certain time and not continue all of this because I have so much going on in my own life that I can just retire and just, perhaps live in another country or just continue traveling or something of the sort. I left that as it were, and I really meditated on what he said, and then I said, yes, Chief, I would give my right hand to continue. And even the moment that he died, when he was dying, I was the last person there. And everything was coming back to me again. I saw the past, everything that we had done. I see his dying moment. And then I'm seeing my future. I saw these conflicts coming, but I didn't expect treachery. But I had already been warned. But I know that if I don't continue, I don't fulfill, I'll be failing my ancestors. I'll be failing this generation, I'll be failing generations to come. And then I stood up and I said, you know what? There is no power that could halt, stop, or cease my coronation. And I stood up and I said, I am the Prince of Moruga, the Grand Chief of the First Peoples, His Royal Majesty, Grand Chief of the Sovereign Nations of First Peoples, and all of the Indigenous Peoples of Trinidad and Tobago. And wherever my realm is, I am going to be serving my people. And I said nothing would be stopping this coronation ceremony. Nothing would be stopping me from fulfilling the purpose of my existence, the struggles of my ancestors, not in this day, age, and not ever. And, I took that courage. I stood up and I said, you know what? This ceremony is even going to be grander. I said, I'm going to put more money behind everything. I said, I'm going to work around this. So even if any media, bad media comes out, have the group together so that, and I had the group in such a way that even if communication should fail on my end, another person can fill in and say, listen, this is what's happening. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Communication failed that day and they were like, where is Eric? Other persons were posting in on the group, and sharing, hey, they're on their way. When they were trying to get the other traffic opened for me from the coldest central branch of the police to have my escorts go through the traffic, they couldn't. So I got to the coronation ceremony, half hour later, but I was not late. I was on time because the prince or the chief could never be late. It's fine. No. As soon as we got there, I got the blessings of the rain. Very, very important because we are also considered water people. Yes. That's why I wear blue and the earth. So water people, so I got the blessings. So I was like, yes, everything's perfect. And I said to them, put no umbrellas over me. Because this is part of the blessing of the ceremony. Yeah. And after that, at the blowing of the shell, you saw that the clouds opened up and it was clear skies. And that's also part of the ceremony, where a true chief should also be able to control the environment. For every ordinary person and every person looking at this, we're ordinary in extraordinary ways. Never give up anything that you're doing. Don't let anyone decide your destiny, your future, your present, or don't let anyone scar, or in my case, don't let anyone try to manipulate your past, especially when you have a good past, you know? And I think it's a really, really great sign of courage, fortitude, and being very strong. So, and I did say to them, I said, listen, I said the very fact that I'm being fought against, which shows that this is an amazing thing and that I'm more than worthy for this position. And I said, what if the port of Spain is flooded? I said, I'm going to walk through that water in the flood waters, all from the cathedral to the parliament. I said, and I'll be getting back when those waters are falling to Moruga for my coronation ceremony at whatever time it would be.
Being to Moruga here, I have been with my grand uncle. He was the grand chief of Moruga, the oldest chief in the hemisphere, and Eric decided to carry him about and introduce him to the real thing, to be knowing about the first people was in Trinidad, and he was one. Eric uplift my grand uncle, and it was amazing that to see that he passed and he still go on. Eric have it going on, and that audience with Eric was amazing for me. Eric has been such a wonderful Grand Chief of Trinidad right now, and all the Chief of Trinidad supposed to come to him and told him about their behalf of them side. Eric was so nice to me that he invited me and bring me into this to help him, to be with him. What he did, it was amazing to me, and I continue loving it and continue being around him to learn many more things. I have to do my job. He give me a portfolio, so I have to carry on my portfolio to get my people and them to know Eric is a loving cousin to me, and it will be so. He uplift Moruga, so yeah, the people know about the first people was in Moruga, and I'll continue working with him and being with him. I always on the right side, and my uncle on the left side, Zairo, better known as Michael Ambrosio Navarro. Two of us is the real bloodline. With our grand uncle, our grand chief, he left us, and he in heaven right now looking over us, carrying on the good works that he left, and Eric take it over. Eric is a guy, he reads a lot of books, he knows a lot of things, he's a teacher, he's a brilliant man, brilliant. So he goes along the way, read a lot of books, travel around the world, knowing the first people. So he decided to uplift my grand uncle to be the grand chief of Moruga and the oldest chief in the world. The oldest chief in the world. Not the world? In the hemisphere? Right, so the grand chief of Moruga, Paul Navarro, the deceased. And I will say I love my uncle, and I always told him I will carry on his legacy. And right in the hall here, for his 102th birthday, he ignited me with his staff and said, Mitch, my name is Camilla Sabala, but he has called me, my nickname is Mitch, and he ignited me, and he take his crown and put it on my head and say, I want you to be in the right hand of Eric. And I love him, and I continue doing the good work with Eric, and I with him until I ready to go. And I love traveling the world with him. I told the chief, the Grand Chief of Trinidad, I have my passport, and I'm willing to travel with him to know my ancestors across the border, across the world, our first people. And I will continue doing the good work for our ancestors and our first people in this country.